Hey guys, before we watch the video, I would like to thank you for your support and hope to see you throughout the rest of this journey. If you would like to see more content of the inspirational success of people's life, please subscribe and follow to be notified of the next episode. Thank you. Arel, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. This is really a cool place and I can feel the great energy already. So thank you for having me. This is fantastic.
It's our pleasure to have you, Arel. And I know we've been planning for this for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful and thankful that we finally have the opportunity to sit down and chat with you.
Oh, thank you. I know it's been busy. America, we always busy. You know how it goes. But it's such a pleasure. Finally, we managed to make some time, and it's incredible to actually be in your studio and in your spot. This is really cool.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate your kind words. So for people who don't know Arel, who is Arel?
Wow, that's a full loaded question. To be honest, I'm just a family man, a person that's believing in an idea and a dream, and I'm a traveled person. I enjoy traveling. Originally, I was born in the Congo. I grew up in South Africa, so South Africa is my base home where I had to learn how to speak English.
That's great.
It's endeared to me, into my heart, and that's home. I'll call it home. However, Congo DRC, that's where my roots is. That's what's in my DNA. I recently became a U.S. citizen, and
congratulations.
Thank you. And my dream and my goal was to set up something where my kids can live anywhere, cosmopolitan, and create an opportunity where people can be somewhere. It's always something that has been dear into my heart, and the fact that I've been a refugee, I know what it is all about. But it was so important for me to set a hub in at least 3 continents where I can say my kids can be anywhere around the world with no molestation of some sort.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
And Arel, I know you have like a very inspiring story to share. And I know you went through a lot of challenges in your life, and this is one thing when I met you and we talked.
Yeah.
And it was, just the man you become after going through this, and you keep fighting every day, and you keep going through, the challenges that life throws on you every day, and it's very admiring. So
thank you very much.
You're an inspiration, honestly. So
thank you.
So you said like you've been a refugee. Do you want to share with us, if it's okay, just quick highlight what happened and what make you have to leave your country?
Yeah, I think people always do what they know best.
Of course.
And without a vision, without a purpose, sometimes we get lost. So when I was a little gaffer, I lost both my parent, and I was very lucky to have an uncle who was really like he's a father figure. He still is, and he's very close to my heart. He went to South Africa to go do business, to search for something meaningful. And then through that process, he declared me as his son, because there was a lot of things going on in the Congo. And we, in general, when you have a family, you always want to seek for something that is better for your family. And he was very generous to say, I'll claim Arel to be my son. And he declared me as his son. But on the paper, we're still refugees. There was a journey that's supposed, let's say, a flight will take maybe 3 hours. It took me 6 months crossing one border to another, literally traveling from Congo DRC. Somebody was actually there. It's a person that was actually helping people to get into a country illegally. Wow. So my uncle paid $100 for this person to take me to South Africa, but that journey took 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
And during that 6 months, I was just a kid. I was a little boy.
And you just with this person taking you from a place
from one place to another, and he will leave me with another family.
Wow.
And then we'll cross the borders, and I've seen a lot, and I had to grow up very fast. I would say I never went to let's say like a preschool kind of setup or anything like that, because I had to grow up very fast. In the Congo, I was going to school already, but adapting in a completely different place. It was challenging, and through that process, you learn what life is all about, and you understand what hard working is, and how you have to do whatever it takes to bring value to people in order for you to be rewarded at some point. So that journey has kind of molded me who I am, and the importance of family and the importance of people. And sometimes you just have to pay attention to those things.
I agree.
So that's in brief, that's what's been my journey. Imagine 6 months on the road with strangers and crossing one border to another, and it was challenging, but that's what has molded me. It's something that I don't regret, because that circumstances, that's what makes a man.
It's very how I'm gonna say that, when I think about it, for a kid to be with stranger for 6 months, from family to family, taking risks, crossing borders. It takes a lot of courage.
It looks like something that is in the movies, but it's a reality. And one thing that most people do not understand, our desire is to always seek something more. So if that opportunity is presented itself, people do whatever it takes to get there. So it's at supreme importance to have that in mind, and also being able to have the ability to understand how did people get to where they are, and also have that compassion to understand, because everybody has a story. I'm not saying my story is everybody in their journey, they've got a story.
I agree.
And my story can inspire somebody else, and everybody also have another story to tell that can inspire other people. So we just learn. But I always say, circumstances do not make a man. It reveals him of who he should become. And sometimes tough times, that's what pushes you to make the decisions that you have to make in life.
Absolutely, Arel. And South Africa become your home. How many years you spent there?
South Africa, I would say. South Africa, I've been in South Africa pretty much all my life. I went to high school, and actually I learned how to speak English by watching Days of Our Lives. Can you believe it?
Wow. Wow.
I was glued to the TV. I had this family that was taking care of me, and then my uncle, we were all staying together in this little space when we're figuring it all out. But the one show that was playing on TV was Days of Our Lives, and the more you see it, the more you watch it, and you look at this American dream and be like, one day I'll be on TV. That's what I told myself.
And we're gonna get to that later, because like
one day, one day.
I saw a lot of people reach out to me in social media, and they ask me like, how I can learn English. And I always give them this advice, and people look at me like crazy. TV. I was watching back home when I was in Morocco. I was watching like movies in English and just do the captions so I can understand.
Yes.
If I don't know like a word, I can search it up. Just the pronunciation, because like the American culture is different than English culture.
Absolutely.
The pronunciation, some meanings of the words. Americans talk fast.
Yes.
And when I moved to United States, I spent probably a good amount of time just watching TV shows.
Absolutely. And I got to say, your English is fantastic.
Thank you. Well, yours too. Appreciate it.
There we go.
But, there is no easy way. I can learn through the TV. Somebody maybe will learn, to like reading books. Like you said, everybody have different way how to learn. You're just going to need to find yours.
Absolutely.
And if it works for me, you try Harcel method, and you keep going. The most important thing is like you learn like 4 words, 5 words every day, and you see like a progress. And don't be afraid to express yourself. If you make mistake, my first year in the United States, I sell like sometimes you speak like you think.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not well taken, because like it's different culture you're coming from to a new culture. People express themselves different ways.
Absolutely, and people take it differently.
Exactly, the body language is very important, and that's what I share with a lot of colleagues and friends, like, who join us from different countries.
Yes.
And I would be like, okay, you're just gonna need to stop speaking like you think, and just take a
Absolutely.
little bit of time, think about
what you're saying. And
Exactly.
and I remember in my professional life is sometimes you got to get guidance, because the way America is designed, or the way America is put forth, it's there's a lot of people are very mindful now of this and that. Where we come from, it's black and white. Sometimes you
Exactly.
say as it is, and as you develop, as you grow, you realize that you have to be able to speak from somebody's perspective and from somebody's point of view. That can be a little bit challenging, especially when you're working with different background, different cultures, and sometimes it's not perceived correctly. But it takes a lot of time to unlearn the way you do things, the way you do business, the way you kind of engage with people. So it takes time. At the same time, you must not be afraid to express yourself, and as long as you're not violating the right of other person,
Exactly.
as long as you are respectful, and I think it's of supreme importance to express yourself.
And Arel, one thing I learned, especially this year, it's all about the receiver.
Yes.
It's all about that person that you're talking to, your address, and how he's gonna receive
Yes.
that information.
I agree.
So we have to be very mindful of that. So Arel, you had like a nice journey to Germany too. We'll move to Europe.
My life is gonna be on a spotlight. Man,
I mean, just the highlights, because like it shows like how much you learned,
absolutely.
and your how you adjust to different cultures,
Yes,
from
yes.
Africa to Europe.
Yes.
Then
yes.
we're going to be talking about your journey here in
the
United States.
Yeah.
It says a lot, and I'm sure like a lot of people will take from it that, because we see a lot of people struggle.
Yes.
They have a hard time to accept the culture.
Yes.
And I think the first thing is you have to accept it.
Yes.
You have to understand why people are doing that.
Yes.
And you have to respect it.
Absolutely.
So how was
my
the journey?
my journey to Germany, I would say I moved to Germany a few years back. I don't remember the dates, but when I arrived in Germany, and it was a completely different culture shock. So as I was growing, I always wanted to seek for a better life. And sometimes people say, when you go to Europe, this is an opportunity that could open a lot of doors. So sometimes the more you meet people, the more you engage with people, you kind of say, okay, I would like to try that lifestyle, or I would try to be in a place where I don't know, it's a completely different place. It's not my comfort zone. So I moved to Germany. At the time, I'm not gonna say much about my former wife and stuff. Yeah. So I got married, and I have a daughter actually in Germany. But living in a small village, which is a community that's people.
Everybody know each other.
Everybody know each other. People respond to certain things differently, and I was the only black man, black person in that particular village. So if I walk in the street, that's the foreigner.
That's ourselves.
That's the foreigner. And one thing, it was hard, but I understood that in order for you to be accepted in a community, you need to first understand how the community work. Sometimes we have this idea that when I show up, people have to behave or react to me. I'm the stranger. So it's at supreme importance that I go and say hello. It's at supreme importance for me to introduce myself, because they don't need to do that. That's their home. It's like coming into somebody else's house and you want to impose for them to do things in a way that you think it's appropriate. So since I'm a single person, or a person that is just one individual moving into a new community, I think it's at supreme importance to put down your egos and go out there and network with people. And sometimes you realize that the more you do that, the more people become a little bit more accepting.
Exactly.
So People are not going to come knocking on your door and say, introduce yourself to us. It's you have to get out of your comfort zone because you're in a completely different place. So I had to learn the art of doing that and actually going to the most random bars, random locations, and so on. I would just walk in, and people sometimes would be like, how the heck did you walk in there? I was like, I just wanted to see what's going on. And the more I did that, the more people are seeing my face, the more friendly I was, and so on and so forth. I started building friendships.
There we go. Yeah.
So there's power in you getting yourself out of your comfort zone.
I agree.
And through that process and that journey, Germany became a home. It's became a place where I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed. There are people that are good and there are people that are bad, just like any other country. There are people that are very judgmental, but you cannot judge a person until you actually spend time with them and actually have an understanding of where they come from, why they're doing what they do. You cannot just say, oh, I just saw you all of a sudden because you saw and saw you a bad person. I believe in giving everybody a chance, a benefit of a doubt, and if it doesn't work out, life goes on, and that's just relationships, and that's what things is all about.
Yeah, that's very well said, Arel. Like you said, you come to another country with different culture and everything, so like you should have expectations, like other people are having some expectations from you too. And you're gonna need to accept that things will be different, right?
Yes.
And once you do that, you're gonna have to leave your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Introduce yourself.
Yes.
Because you're ambassador of your culture, of your country.
Yes.
And sometimes they may have like a bad experience previously.
Absolutely.
You know, or like see something from other people that they make them that, you know, having certain idea about, you know, people coming from overseas. And that's why I feel like it's our responsibility, especially like people who come from different countries.
Yes.
They're like ambassadors.
Yes.
Right? So like you represent your culture, your religion, no matter what you believe on, you know. And what I always say to, you know, when we have conversations with friends and stuff, like leave your beliefs on the side and don't judge.
Yeah,
it's
be
not
objective.
Because,
yes, absolutely.
Not because like they don't believe in certain thing you believe on. That's mean they're wrong.
They're bad people.
Or like they're bad people. You know, sometimes like they will surprise you how, you know, how kind they are, how helpful they are, how, you know, it just like you have to accept it, and you know, like they have expectations from you and you have expectations from them. You're gonna have to meet a little bit in the middle.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned something about like it become home.
Yeah.
You know, I believe like home is where you are.
Yes.
Like it's your family.
Absolutely.
It's your friends.
Yes.
It's your, you know,
your relationships.
Your relationships.
Yes.
When I was in Morocco, that was home, right? For me now, like America is home.
It's home. Absolutely.
You know, and we moved to different countries or different states, and it's always gonna be home somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
And some people get upset because, oh, you know, now your home country should always it's in your heart.
It is. It's,
you know,
it's in your
it's
DNA.
Part of you.
Yeah.
You know, you can. But in the meantime, there is your country. There's another country that's opened the door for you and give you so much opportunities.
Yes.
That you feel obligated. That you need. You know.
You need to give yourself 100%.
You know. Yeah. You need to pay it back.
Yes.
By being a good citizen.
Yes.
You know, by contributing to the society, you know, paying your taxes,
Absolutely.
I mean, sharing your knowledge, and
Absolutely.
a lot of things like that.
Absolutely. So. And one thing I could add with that, and I think through my journey speaking with you and just understanding your thought process, you are a person that is more acutely aware on how to inspire and educate people, and you are very accepting. And once you get to that level, it makes sense, and people accept you a little bit more. And being able to say, hey, our differences might not align, but if we're working to the same common goal, we all want to succeed in one department or another. We all have a weakness, we all have a strength. Some people, a weakness is magnified, some people's strength is super magnified, but it's at supreme importance to understand that I'm not better than anybody, or I'm not beneath anybody. If you become authentic and you become simply you, you'll realize that the world become a little bit more accepting. And it becomes a little bit easier, because some people, you meet them, you just know that they're good people. They make mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. And the ability to differentiate that this is a good person, they made mistakes or whatever, let's navigate through that so we can all achieve something meaningful. And I think it's a powerful thing that you have, man, and you bring the best out of people, which is fantastic. I love that about you, man.
Thank you. And I'm not gonna lie to you, one of the reason why, I was thinking how I can inspire people and share what I know. And in social media or wherever, and I tried different things, right?
Absolutely.
And it took me some time to find out about this podcast. And I think it's the best way to do that is to have a podcast, to invite people who have, experiences.
Absolutely.
They share their journey, and they can give good advices to, people who are watching us all around the world. And that's the reason why I choose to do podcasts in English.
This is a platform now. it's anything can be translated now, right?
Exactly.
And English, it's a world-renowned language. You got to make an effort to learn it, whether it could be in your personal life, your business, or whatever. Everything that you want to do, you got to be able to communicate that message across. It doesn't matter which language, but as you said, you choose a language that is commonly spoken all around the world, and it's at supreme importance that we make an effort to be like, if we need to translate some stuff, we can.
We do.
And we need to make an effort through that, and I think that's really important.
But the message is, if I can do it, if you can do it, anybody can.
Anybody can.
Because we speak French, right?
Yes.
On parle français très bien.
On parle français chaque fois.
Chaque jour.
Ouais.
But, it shows how much you can learn, and how much you can look a little bit inside you and find the right words. And you can do it in front of camera too.
Absolutely.
And for people who are listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever, you can do it. You can work on your pronunciation. You can work on your selecting the right words and pick the right, the right time, the right meaning. And if we can do it, you can
do it. Absolutely. And I think it's the willpower. We were talking about my journey and so on. My journey, for me, every time I'm in a new place, I feel like my journey just began. It's like I'm becoming a toddler again, because there's so many experiences and so many challenges that will come with the decision to do something different, but you need to know what you want.
I agree.
And sometimes we can inspire people, and we can the way we're doing right now, we're sharing our experiences. It will require some kind of effort in order, even a weak person can have to remove themselves out of their comfort zone in order to seek guidance, to seek help. Because if I don't come to you and I'll be like, hey man, I know you're good at what you do, can you help me out, and so on and so. I had to do that so many times to a point where I'll say, you know what, I'll do something for free so that in return I can learn something. Especially in the city that we are right now. It's a new city. It's a new beginning. I've been, so it's growing so much, and you need to be able to learn those things, and being able to seek counsel and guidance from people that have been around. You'll be like, okay, you've been here for a little while. Okay, man, how do you do it?
How you become like that?
How you become where you are, and being able to seek for something, then you receive it. But if you're not looking and you're hoping that something will come out of the sky, you can be motivated as much as you want. If you don't, you're not disciplined, and you don't make the actions, and you don't push forward to seek what you're looking for. You become like a dead bud. You know what I mean?
100%, Arel. And this is the reason why we have in this podcast.
Absolutely.
People who's gonna tell you, okay, success is there, opportunities are there,
Yes.
but you need to be willing,
Absolutely.
to pick yourself up,
Yes.
go through some challenges, hard work, and
Yes.
make it happen.
And make it happen.
Because, like, you see this motivation speech,
Yes.
wherever shorts,
Yes.
like on social media all the time.
It's an industry
But
now.
if,
So
if you tell those people like 20 years ago
Yeah.
to give you that speech, they will not be able
to do it,
because
yeah.
they don't know what's waiting for them. They
Yes.
don't know the journey that
Yes.
that they're gonna go through.
Absolutely.
So like it's through that experience that they are able to sit down and tell you, hey, okay, this is what you need to do.
Absolutely.
And the common advice that you see from all these people
Yeah.
is like work hard.
hard. Absolutely.
Is you
There's
need
no
to
such
put
thing.
the work.
Absolutely.
You
There's
need
no
to
such
put the
thing,
work.
something for nothing. It doesn't matter
No.
what it is.
Yeah.
You're going to have to sacrifice something in
Exactly.
order for you to get something. So one thing that I decided in my journey is to set a goal. Sometimes we talk about goal settings, but we do not understand how to set a goal. Everybody can set a goal. Everybody can set a goal.
New Year's
But
resolution.
Absolutely.
Every year you hear like, I
it's
want to do
happening
this.
all the time. But the ability to understand, how do you set a goal that's worthy of you?
And commit to it.
Yeah, and commit to it. So understanding how to set a goal that's worthy of you, you come to a realization that it doesn't matter how many times you fail. When you're setting a goal that's worthy, you are stimulated, you are motivated, you cannot wait to get out of bed in the morning, because that's something that is worthy of your life. Like in my journey, I fail, and sometimes I keep on failing,
of us.
right?
All of us,
And all
Hassan.
of us fail. So,
But how you gonna
how
get
you
up?
get up and you know where your direction is.
Yes.
Sometimes we set goals, but we are unsure. But if you set a goal that's worthy of you, you just know, like you know.
Yeah.
That's where I want to go. Eventually, I'll get there. And you're not compromised, or you're not giving up anything. It doesn't matter, man. It's you'll get there.
Arel, I'm laughing because you're talking, and I'm thinking about how much it took me to put this podcast together.
Absolutely.
And it started with an idea.
Yeah.
And it started with like, okay, here is my plan.
Yes.
How I'm gonna execute it.
Achieve
right?
it.
And every time I feel like, okay, I'm ready.
Yes.
And I find like, okay, I may need to add this.
Absolutely.
I may need to display this.
And to add, you're a busy man.
And yes, I am. And that's what the
yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
And patience.
Yes.
Everybody can tell you, you can start a podcast with a phone.
Absolutely.
But if you care about your audience and you
Yes.
care about what you do and you respect yourself, you want to give a good product to your audience.
Absolutely. I agree.
That show respect to them, and how much you want to invest in yourself and on your guests that you want to welcome in your studio.
Yes.
Like you want to make them feel warm, welcome.
Absolutely.
And
I can definitely feel it here, man. No, just looking around here, it takes dedication.
Exactly.
There are people they are so inspired with ideas. But an idea is worthless. It's worthless if you are not able to put it into action.
Exactly.
Sometimes put something into action in order for you to realize, okay, maybe this is not the path that I need to take. Yeah. But during just start.
Yeah.
And during that journey, that's how we, I would say, we learn. And that's also a beginning
and you become better.
Absolutely. And it's a beginning of wisdom.
Yeah.
What wisdom?
Yeah.
Wisdom, it's also a part of experiences. I learn from people that have gone through some challenges.
Exactly. Yes.
Because we always want to learn from the successes, but we also have to learn a lot from the failures.
I think that's the biggest lessons. It's when you fail.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't really use the word failure. It's like learning process.
Learning process. Absolutely.
Because it's you fail, but okay. I'm sure we learn something from it.
Absolutely.
And next time you're going to try to do something differently.
Yes.
Or if somebody's going to make the same mistake, you're going to share, okay, you know what, I tried it. It didn't work. You may going to need to
adjust
or do a different
Absolutely.
another way. So Arel,
Yeah.
the exciting stuff now.
This is awesome. I gotta drink some water, man.
Please go ahead. So
this is so much fun. I can sit here and we can talk the whole day.
I know, like time is going so fast.
Yeah, it's
Arel.
flying, man.
And I know you're a busy man also. So thanks for coming today.
No,
I
thank
really
you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
So Arel, how did you become? How am I gonna say that? Like, I look at like everywhere I turn to social media. Here is this, this handsome guy.
Oh,
He's
man.
brand ambassador for this
Am I?
for this
Oh,
product.
Look at this, man.
brand
You're gonna make
ambassador.
me blush.
Man, I
Yeah.
don't know how I missed. Maybe you've been in a TV show and a movie and we didn't know.
Yeah,
Because like
it's-
we're coming to it, you had chance to work with Pitbull.
Yes.
And for people who don't know, Pitbull is like a huge, singer,
Yes.
producer. I'm sure like our audiences they will know and will share his picture.
Absolutely.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
But it takes like a
It
lot.
takes a lot, man. It's sometimes I think there's power in network.
Mm-hmm.
There's power in seeking opportunities, and when you meet people, you just never know who they are.
I agree.
I had an opportunity to work with them through just network.
Yeah.
I went and I told them my experience, and we were just having a conversation. Be like, hey, we are opening this concept. Would you like to be a part of it? I was like, what?
So Arel,
I was shocked.
before we go there, because I know like we went from Congo to South Africa to Germany.
Yes,
How
yes,
did you
yes.
end up in United States?
Yes. So in the United States was through work.
Okay.
And I also won the lottery, DV.
Okay.
The lottery.
The green card?
The green card.
Okay.
It was very random. Sometimes,
Wow.
some blessings just pursue you wherever
meant-
you go. And
When it meant to be,
it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And the reason why I didn't even play. This is the craziest thing.
So somebody
Because-
put the application for you?
Yeah. So what happened was, I love my family, and I always wanted them to succeed and create opportunities and so on and so forth. And one thing that we wanted to do is to be in the promised land. And for me, I wanted that for them, because in South Africa and when I was doing a little bit more traveling, I was doing well in the entertainment industry, and I was I was making money, and I was comfortable. Sometimes comfortable can be bad.
I know.
So I was comfortable. At the same time, there's always that burning desire to do more. So we played that DV. I was neglecting to play because I was like, no, this is for my family. They got to go play, and I want to make sure that they're okay. So they went ahead and play. They put my name down,
Yeah.
and one day they were like, hey man, we got to take the pictures. You are willing to come? So I was very busy. I was like in another city. I was like, okay, I'll fly down. We'll take these pictures and submit the application as a family.
Yeah.
And when we did that, I swear, in my mind, I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna continue with my life. My family are gonna win. Man, it was so random. Out of everybody, and there's almost 50 million or something applications every
All around
year.
the world. Yeah.
And my name was called.
That's a blessing.
And I was just like, how is that possible?
It's
that
something
I didn't
waiting
need
for
it?
you. Yeah. It's
crazy.
crazy how it works.
Yeah.
So for people who in our audience who are not familiar with the lottery.
Yes.
So United States have a program for like different countries from around the world.
Yes.
And they give them like a quota, like a specific number from each country to select.
Yes.
For these people to have chance to move to United States.
Yes,
So they
yes.
offer them like a green card.
Yes.
And the way how you do that, every year it's around November, I think, when people start submitting the applications. And like you said, there is very specific measurement.
There's
for
a lot
the
of things that's
picture and stuff.
got to go through that.
You're gonna
yeah.
go through that and
Yes.
submit it, and then in May you're gonna start seeing the results.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people who are applying
Yes.
every single year.
Absolutely.
So like for you to get it like in the first try,
Yeah.
it's really a message.
It's a blessing, and that's something that I was like, Okay, and then one thing we have to remember, there are also criteria that people are looking for. I was working hard.
Exactly.
And I was known in my area of work, and I was traveling. I came here to the United States before, and with the company, I became a TV producer with the company in South Africa.
Okay.
And we were trying to raise funds for movies, and at the same time, I worked with another company. We were specialized in glass. So I was just doing a whole lot of stuff.
You had your path already going, right? Like,
so I was just like, I was trying, to get to a place. I hate poverty.
Yeah.
I hate
Of course,
mediocrity.
because like you've seen it, and you want to do something of yourself,
Yes.
right? You want to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're working for it. And it's crazy because like we're not talking about me right now, but it's similar situation.
Yes.
Like the lottery comes, I didn't apply for it.
Yes.
And I was really on a good path to build my career in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
I was all set.
Yes.
And it came from nowhere.
Yeah.
But that's what takes,
Yeah.
to make a big decision that's going to
decision in
impact
life.
on your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like I'm all set, like you said. We're comfortable. We're having our career,
Yes.
But to stop everything
and then
and
start
to
from
decide
scratch.
to go
Yeah.
to a new challenge when you don't know anybody, when like you don't know the culture, you don't know the country,
Yes.
and start
Yeah.
from all over. It takes a lot.
It takes. You gotta be a person I think that's entrepreneurial mindset. You gotta be a person that makes decisions, and sometimes it works in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't. I've made some crazy decisions and realized that maybe it didn't work out the way it's supposed to, but sometimes it requires that you have to make a decision.
Yes.
As people, anybody that cannot make a decision personally cannot be trusted.
I mean, I kind of agree. You
make
need
a
to know what
decision,
you
man.
want in life, right? Yeah,
Decide.
make a decision and learn from it.
Absolutely.
If it didn't work, so be
It's
it.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Make a decision and go for it. Sometimes we have to make those drastic decisions in order for us to find out what we're capable of. Sometimes our limitations are self-imposed. We don't know what we are capable of. Like, I'm still in that journey. It's like learning what is my purpose. You find out your purpose in this world by trying things.
I
And
agree.
Obviously don't be careless and destroy families or
course.
destroy your family.
But like you said, it's with wisdom. But sometimes, if you make, let's say, a decision that didn't went your way, I think it's very important to have people to support you.
Absolutely.
And that's, I think, when it comes to the role of the family,
yes.
the wife, the girlfriend,
Absolutely.
the parents.
Yes.
And I love my mom to death, and I will do anything for her. But that's the mom instinct.
Yes.
Like when I decided to move to United States,
Yes.
they always want to see us on the best way
Best
possible.
version, yeah.
So like
of
you
us.
said, like
you don't want to let anybody down.
yes, she see you all sad.
Yeah.
You work hard to get to the position you are in. You just like bought a house and everything, and you're gonna leave all that and go to the unknown, right?
Yes.
But I say that all the time, man. Like it's the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Is to decide to move to United States.
Absolutely.
So going back to you, so Arel,
Yes, yes.
how was the opportunity? How was the opportunity come to work with Pitbull?
So he owned a share of. He was an investor within this hospitality restaurant concept that they were opening up, and it was a beautiful concept. They had a celebrity chef. They had Jimmy Butler, Jimmy
Of
Butler,
course,
the basketball
of course.
player.
He was in 76ers
Absolutely.
before he goes to Miami.
Absolutely. So he was part of that investment. So it's a group of investors that wanted to just create something beautiful.
Wow.
And by talking, and I was like, I've worked in hospitality, and my energy was just like, if that's the project, I would like to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, come to the office and we'll have a conversation. They had somebody else also part of the meeting and so on. And I believed so much in the concept. And they believed so much in me. They gave me an opportunity to open something from ground up.
That's great.
And I learned so much because it was challenging. It was during COVID. Things were crazy.
Yeah.
But we knocked it out of the park, and it was a successful business. And you get to actually see firsthand what's success in certain department of life is all about.
Yes.
You know, there's success is relevant to different kind of people. We have to understand some people success meaning having great relationships, having a lot of money and so on. The way I see success is to have the ability to enjoy every aspect of your life. For me to see somebody that is successful, you look at their relationship with friends, families, people that they care about.
I agree.
There's a financial aspect of it. There's a spiritual aspect of it. For me, I feel like that's the way people should develop. And I saw one area of success that can open a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities in a little while.
Oh, that's great. And you know, it's fun to be around you, Arel.
Thank you.
You carry yourself super well.
Oh, thank you. I try. Look at that. Oh, come on, man.
No, seriously, like, you know, and this is like what I'm saying. You become like a brand ambassador for so many, you know, products, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
How did
that
that
experience?
journey begin? I think my journey began in South Africa. I remember, this is a true story. I was walking one day. I was a server, and I was actually cleaning this restaurant. And then during that time, I was walking. It was a long road. I was walking, and I didn't have transport at the end of the night. So I was telling myself that one day I would like to see myself on TV. And I don't know, there's a power into something that you bring into life. I was telling myself, literally, one day I would like to see myself on TV. As I progressed, I was just like talking to myself like a crazy person in the middle of the night. And then I went home. 2 weeks after, I served a woman. She was an agent of an agency. It was a modeling agency, and I met them. I spoke to them, and she was like, "You look good on TV." Wow. I'm like, "There's power in suggestion, man." I was like, "I do," and I didn't know nothing about acting and so on and so forth. And I come to the office. At the time, life was still tough. I was still in school and all that kind of stuff. Because I believe the entertainment industry and so on, that's helped me pave a way to kind of help myself, help the people around me. It's through that revenue. That's where my journey started.
That's great.
So when she invited me at the actual call so they can take some pictures, I didn't have a shirt. I had to borrow my shoes. I had to borrow my shirt. I had to borrow things around. And we did a photo shoot, but I believe I had the face that they were looking for. So, I was wearing the shirt 3 sizes as me, but they made the pictures look so cool.
Yeah.
And I think about 3 months or 2 months went by. They requested, there was a client that requested to see me, and it was a huge campaign that they really liked my face.
Wow.
And this was a TV commercial campaign, billboards, it has
Dream
all around.
become true.
And I walked into this audition, man. There was just all these people that have been in the industry for a long time, well-dressed suit. Me, I'm still in that path of borrowing.
Not for long.
That's why sometimes people be like, "You like wearing a suit? You wear a suit well." It's because that became me. I started liking
it's become
suits.
part of your personality.
I started liking suits because when I walked into that room, people wearing expensive suit. Me, I didn't have one. So I went into this audition. So they already chose the main character, which was the lady, and I needed to audition with her. For some weird reason, I've never been on camera, but everything that I did was so natural.
Yeah.
They enjoyed it, and I was like, man, in my mind, I was already intimidated by the crowd. I was like,
Yeah.
this is whatever. It's a waste of my time, man.
And then the journey started.
I was like, this is where it began. But anyway, I
There you
did
go.
my best.
That's great. You did great.
A week after, I get the call. I was number 3,000 and something.
Oh, wow.
They've auditioned from different cities. They came and found one man.
Wow.
And that was me.
Wow.
They called my agency. My agency could not believe it. They're
Wow.
like, this is your first and it's the biggest.
Wow.
And
So when you know you have something.
that's when it's all began, and it was the biggest campaign. I got to travel, and I saw how celebrities are
Yeah.
treated. Like, I had people carrying my umbrella. It was an amazing experience, and through that, I started becoming like a face of stuff, and I became a face of Jägermeister. I started becoming a brand ambassador of Cruise Vodka, all the beers.
Yeah.
I did some beauty product of Vaseline. So all these things start just coming naturally. And it was a mindset. I always say, I'm not above anybody. If they want me, I'm here.
Exactly.
So when I go there, I do my best, I leave, and I forget about it. And the more I did that, it's kind of, I ended up meeting some really incredible people. It was an amazing journey. And sometimes it's like, I wanted to be an actor. So so when I came to America, I was like, I wanted to go to California. I wanted to go to Hollywood. And whatever. You know, as you grow up and you start looking at certain realities, sometimes you have to adjust in order for you to attain something, in order for you to get something else. So that adjustment, I needed to do that, and then I got into the business world, and it's been a rewarding thing. I would say I've been a jack of all trade. I don't know if it's a good thing, but I've worked in different arena, again in the pursuit of purpose, the pursuit of how can I bring value to people, the people that I come in contact with, and so on and so forth. And sometimes you as I said, you make mistakes, and and then you fall, and then you disappoint yourself, and then you learn from those experiences. You meet people, and sometimes certain relationships work out, certain relationships don't, and during that process, you start understanding, how do I navigate? What is relationships? What is money? And the value of family and network, and what is worthy of you as a person. And you can only do that by going through things and stage of life, and so on and so forth. And I'm here, and I got to meet such a great, powerful man like yourself. It's incredible. So I'm very happy to hear
know you, Arel.
That's great.
And that's through Pitbull experience. You opened the door of the hospitality industry, right?
Yes.
And this is how we met. So look how look at the journey, and here we go. You have so great managerial skills, and you are so much a people person.
Thank you.
Because I watch you, working, and I watch how you address things, and how you talk to the team, and how you have them buy your culture and how you want to do things. So is that a mix of all the past experiences in different fields that make you that way, Arel? And have you adjust or adapt to the situations when it comes to managing people?
Yeah, I think we live in the world of people. And one thing that is important is to understand the value of what people bring to you and what you can learn from them. And then in turn, use that energy to share a vision. A great leader, you get leaders, you get managers, and you get people that's just like titles, right? Now, if you are a leader, you first have to understand things from people's point of view. You don't come across like, I've figured it out and whatever. Despite my experiences,
my way or highway.
Here we go. So despite that, you have to be able to communicate and understand what, how, and when, and why.
Exactly.
And that's why it's very important. So if you go into an organization and you understand the why, you know why they're doing what they're trying to do, and they give you a platform to explain that why, and being able to bring people together to be like, hey, this is why we want to do this. and understand things from their perspective. Sometimes in some of my management job, it became because I had to manage sometimes managers. I had to manage leaders and other aspect of different departments. You have to be able to empower them,
exactly,
at the same time observing from a distance. So when you empower people, it means that you are holding them accountable in their own way, and you trust them. And then when you do that, when something happens, then you pull it aside, you correct it.
Exactly.
And then you empower them. And the ability to be able to speak to people from their perspective and make them understand this is what we're trying to do. And one thing that I've seen work for me very well is to actually go and sit with a team and explain to them, hey, this is what we're trying to achieve. This is the reason why we are trying to achieve, and build that commitment. Is like, hey, as your leader, I'm going to do A, B, C, D.
Exactly.
Do you agree? If I do these things every time I come in, every day that I come in, are you willing to work with me to achieve this by doing what your job requires? And automatically you're building a rapport. It's not just from the job descriptions and so on and so forth. You're creating a human connection.
Exactly.
And the ability to do that, you got to be able to learn people, learn body languages,
lead by example.
Yeah, lead
they
by
will
example,
follow
listen,
you.
and really just be that person it could be a person that's easy to speak to. At the same time, you do not compromise what is the why.
Exactly.
And being able to not compromise on that, be stirred on that, but at the same time empowering people. And sometimes you probably don't even have to do much.
True.
You're just like, I get that, this is the expectation, let's work together. And sometimes you move in, you don't even have to tell them. You're moving in and you're doing it
you will
with
take
them.
initiatives.
And then progressively you build a trust, and you build a place where people feel comfortable and they buy into something that's can bring value, and it becomes a reputation kind of thing. Because I remember talking to the team, and then I was like, I would like to be associated with something that's good, that's beautiful and whatever. And I believe everybody would like to do that in their journey. So why can't we work together and build something beautiful?
What is gonna take?
Let's do it.
It's a teamwork, it's a team effort, and everybody there for like a mission, right? To take care of our guests, especially in the hospitality industry.
Absolutely.
Especially after COVID.
Yes.
It's tough to find the right people. So Arel, this has been really good, and I feel like we need another hour to talk.
Probably. But this has been fantastic.
It's been
this
great.
Is home, and we're probably going to have to catch up again.
For sure. So, Arel, in your busy schedule, how you manage your work-life balance?
I think it's very important to know what's important to you first, and being able to, nowadays we got different tools, we've got a lot of system, but being able to prioritize what is important, what comes first. So when you identify what comes first, then you list it out. And just like any task, I'm a strong believer to see a task through until it's finished, because sometimes people have scattered mind. You want to touch this, you want to touch this, you want to touch this, and you are so busy accomplishing absolutely nothing. So it's at supreme importance to understand, okay, this is the tasks at hand. How do I prioritize what comes first? And then when you start a task, make sure you finish it in order for you to tackle something. So I'm a very systematic person. I observe, I see what tasks need to be done at hand, focus on that, get it done, then take on another task. I think being able to prioritize what needs to be done first and create a tool. Now we got different kind of tools. I wake up in the middle of the night or before I sleep. I'll say, okay, tomorrow there's 10 things or 6 things that I need to do. And then through that day, I'm just knocking them out one by one. And then if I don't get to finish that 10, it's okay. The day's done.
Exactly.
And then tomorrow, that's become a priority. Whichever you didn't finish the next day, that becomes a priority for the next day.
Yeah.
So you work on that because we only have 24 hours in a day.
True.
And you need to be able to prioritize and see what will bring value in that particular day and how you can help the organization or help yourself.
Good. So Arel, when it comes to now you went from so much different hats
Yeah.
to a businessman hat.
Oh man.
So you just open your own business.
Yes.
I know, it takes a lot of time and effort.
Yes.
And I think going through all these experiences, now it prepares you to be your own boss.
Yes.
You have your own team to manage them, to manage your business. How was that journey?
I think the transition it can be a little bit crazy, I would say, but having a good wife, somebody that supports you and really somebody that is a little bit more understanding, because it's not easy for you to go to your partner and be like, hey man, I'm cutting my paycheck in half so that I can pursue a business idea. But I always wanted to say, I own something, and America is designed to do so. So how do I capitalize on something that makes sense to me and being able to sustain and say, you know what, it's a beginning of something and leaves a legacy or something behind that would say, oh, I ventured into that and it was a success. So that was a trial and error, but I was like, you know what? I wanted to leave something that I believe in and I think it could pay dividends along the way. A lot of research and a lot of time and trying to understand that. So it's a completely different transition. Sometimes you'll be like opening a business, you can just do this and that. No, you don't. It's a process. You need to understand the regulations. You need to get different licensing. You need to be able to speak to different departments. And especially here, we pay a lot of taxes. You need to be very mindful of a lot of things. You need to get an accountant, you need to get this and that. So all these things are happening at the same time, but you need to be able to focus on the why you're doing it and the what. So it's an exciting journey. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of hard work because opening a business, it's another job. However, you kind of dictate how you run it. I believe in the beginning of anything, it's challenging, it's hard, it's difficult. It's just being able to stay motivated and understand why you did it and then try it. And if you succeed, happy days. If you learn something from it, fantastic. But you don't open a business to fail. So let's see how this new chapter or this new adventure can take me to the place where I wish to reach, so I can bring value to other people. I love helping people. I love being at service to others, and being able to create that freedom can also enable me to be more valuable to other people. So that's one of the reasons.
And knowing you, Arel, I have no doubt that you're already successful.
Thank you.
The business, you're gonna take it to another level, and it's just gonna grow. So just believe in yourself and don't change anything in what you do.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Well, Arel, I know you have a busy schedule. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I really, really appreciate your time coming in.
Thank you.
So we always finish the podcast with a question.
Yes.
So Arel, what life teach you?
One thing that's a good question, and it's a big question.
That's why we leave it to the end.
It's a good question, and it's a big question. One thing that life have taught me, I think I've learned a lot of lessons over the years, but one thing that stick out is the ability to know what you want. If you know what you want in life, you will always navigate toward that, because certain things can be challenging, but have a determination of what you want and take a weekend off, chew on a straw, or just shut everything down and ask yourself, what do you really want? When you figure that out, then you have to ask yourself, how do you set a goal that is worthy of you? You know, when you set a goal that's worthy of you, you're not having a number of bad days or whatever. You start focusing more on, like, if I want to attain $1 million, how do I achieve that? You know, you will probably not achieve it right there and then, but the desire for you to get to that place, it's going to be driven by such a powerful force. And it's like you wake up in the morning, you know that one day I want to do this, I want to do this. You might go detour, you know, it's like you put a destination on the map. You might hit traffic, construction, and all these things that are happening along the way, but you just know, I would like to build that. I would like to help that. So you set a goal that's worthy of you and ask yourself what you truly want. And I've been able to navigate through life challenges. It's because I've always decided since I was a kid that there are certain things that I will not accept or I will not settle for. Therefore, I've made decisions that people will think that I'm crazy, but it's the ability to understand where I'm going. Some things I've achieved, some things I haven't achieved, but I know the reason why, and I know where I'm heading toward, and then I will achieve it one way or the other. So the ability to do that, know what you want, and set a goal that's worthy of you. And don't set a goal to just make money, or just don't set this
for like short term.
Short term. Set a goal that is so big that you are working to it, and you are also becoming bigger and stronger as you progress. Then during that process, readjust, make minor goals and so on. But set one. There is a reason. I've set one goal that I'm gonna work toward it until probably I die, even if I don't achieve it. So that's very important in life.
Well, thank you for sharing ourselves. Very inspiring.
Thank you.
It's been fun talking to you.
It's been fantastic. We can sit here and talk the whole day, but it's fantastic being here.
We'd love to bring you back in the future, whatever your schedule will permit it. And any last word for our audience?
Last word is, I will say, limitations are self-imposed. To be honest, as a person, when you limit yourself, it's your own creation in your mind. So don't limit yourself. Take risks. Take chances, and just don't violate the right of other people. Everybody is important in their own way, and be kind and be helpful and be reasonable and stand for what you believe in.
That's
thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you, Arel. It's been a pleasure having you.
All right. Thank you.
And we're looking forward to having you next time.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. And this is a great place, a great platform, and I will encourage everybody to come here, have a chat, and really there could be one or two things that we can always learn from each other, and especially platform like this, it's a great place to kind of engage in issues and situations that we can learn from each other. So this is a great platform, and congratulations to you as well.
Thank you, Arel. Appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you find this episode helpful and inspiring, please share with your friends and family. Also, any comments or feedback is welcome and will help us improve our content. Your support by liking the video and subscribing to our channel is very, very much appreciated. Thank you.